Yo, how's it going, guys? I hope everyone's doing really well today. So, just as a disclaimer, this video was supposed to be just all Kashtira, but I've just been struggling to get a lot of content for it, if I'm being honest. I've been playing a lot, and when I do play against Kashtira, it's either a really short game, so you don't really get to display anything that I really want to show, or I break, and, well, just, yeah, either way, it's either I win or I lose. Either way, it's a very short game, and I don't get to display the cards I want, like Book of Eclipse, and when I do get to use it, it doesn't really display like the full essence of it. Like I've I've drawn it a few times, maybe not in the games I'm gonna show in a second, but I've drawn it a few times and used it and it worked. And then my opponent has two effect veilers and I don't exactly have the extenders to keep comboing for games, so not a great example. Or they have Ash and it just completely kills it. And it's just like, okay, right. So now I'm just a victim to Kashtira again, but. So I thought what would be okay instead is I want to just show you my last 20 games just to kind of show an authentic side to just playing. And tell you what, I don't actually know each one. I don't remember each replay. So this seems to be Gishki with a bit of Kaiju and Drytron. Drytron's a really old deck, so we'll just go through all of them really quickly. I can fast forward them as well, which is great. And I can only really explain my thought process on maybe the last 5 games because I don't play that much in a row. I sort of just let them build up and take a break. So I'm going first here. Have a semi-decent hand. No real, cards to interrupt my opponent. Oh, okay. See, it's games like that. Like I feel like in Master 1, you're not really going to get many, yeah, or what's the word? Not authentic, but yeah, I guess authentic. No, authentic's a fair word. Like a lot of people just scoop quickly. When you're climbing up, most of the time you'll try and, see if your opponent has bricked as well, because you don't know what your opponent's playing and you might draw the out in the next turn. So they're not like, yeah, realistic games. Anyway, in this case, if you don't know this deck, so Valance, first time I've said it correctly, so Valance or whatever, they are a stun deck. That's how I class them, because the idea is that they get Fossil Diner on board as well as Secret Village of the Spellcasters, because a lot of them are spellcasters, I think, yep. And that way you can't special summon monsters, nor can you activate spell cards unless you have a spellcaster yourself, which we wouldn't. Unless you draw Droll. In that case, you only out one thing. The other thing you'd have to out is this. So unless you draw Droll and Book of Eclipse, you're not in a healthy state, in my opinion. And they've got other, onboard negates. I don't think this is a card pop. Can't remember the other ones. And then, of course, they bring out Appaloosa as well. So yeah, this is a very tough deck, so I'm not going to go into it too much, but just yeah, I'll just show you the games. Like it's a very typical thing. Like you saw, I've got a 4-loss streak there, and it's just very, very common for the games to be like this. Like I've mentioned before, I've had 8-loss streaks. I've had a 12-loss streak. That one set me back for like 3-4 days. I didn't bother playing. Yeah, always maxi. Try not to maxi before main phase. Sorry, in the main phase, try to do it before. And then, as you can see, I can't even remember what my opponent was playing fully. The problem with this deck is one Ash doesn't do much. Droll would do a lot to this deck because they can't keep drawing, basically, and they can keep, adding more pendulum summons and bringing out more cards. Yeah, and then this more and more. If you see 2 level 4s on the field, like he's just about to do now, yeah, you've I think you've lost, because he's going to bring out that, yep, this one, Gallant Granite, and then, yeah, I knew he was going to bring out thing, and I don't have the out. You saw my hand, it was unfortunate. So this, I assume, is going to be Labyrinth. No, this is Kashtira. Okay, this might be a good example of what we experience if we don't have a very specific out. And then I can show you the deck list that I'm working with. I've changed it. I'll show you which duel I change it by. So as you can see here, going first, not the greatest hand. I can maybe get something moving. He ashes me, and there you go. Look, I have nothing. Look at this. This is not great. Red Reboot is something you want to see going second, or if you have it in your hand first, something you see going third. Like, and then as simple as that. Very short. What's this one? This one is Punk Kashtira. I think this is still a really strong deck at the minute. So definitely take a look at that. But there's one replay in particular I really wanted to show you. That's why I started the video, and I was like, okay, I really want to show you this. And it's a stolen idea. I'll give credit to the content creator that I saw it from first. I was playing Gamma in this variation. Just wanted to try it out. And oh yeah, I remember this. Oh my god. I find everyone has Ash. Everyone has Ash. Like maybe I could have kept playing through, but then I would be playing under Maxi, and Yeah, I don't know. Not worth it, in my opinion. This one. Yes, the tier limits is really I told you this deck, so I did that tier list. I told you because of this card, tier limits can still be like very active. So I'd say they're tier 3 now, in my opinion, because you'll see them kind of rise through the ranks a little bit. And then there's another deck that's probably one of these replays. It's like a synchro version. I call it a synchro deck because everything that they summon is like Hot Dragon Archfiend. It basically negates any one card on the field. It's targeting, sure, but if you use a spell card or a trap from your hand, it can just negate it because it's a quick effect, which is really, really strong. They get Baron de Fleur on, they had another negate, but you'll see that in a minute. But yeah, this is Tier Elements, which is I think is now a tier 3 deck. And I suppose good for them because they have been hit very, very hard. So for everyone who spent a lot of money on their decks, I did kind of feel a little bit sorry that their deck kind of like fell to shit, but now not so much. Yeah, this is another not so great hand. This is going to be very rough. And then I couldn't play anymore, so I'm not even sure how I lost all these games if I try and remember them. Yeah, he used that. Saved my crossout designator because I wasn't sure what else he might be using, and then yeah, I think on that one I may have mistimed the actually no, I don't think I mistimed the Book of Eclipse. This is a tier limits deck, I forgot. And from here I just knew he would just keep comboing. There would be nothing else I can do. Like I'm pretty sure that's an OTK opportunity here. So I finally win one. This is Jesus. Whenever I see a 60 card deck, I just pray they don't have this card because then they just keep comboing and comboing, and unless you have Maxi and it resolves, even then, like sometimes they can build up a follow-up play to be activated on your turn. Like just having Harvness in hand, they can have their own turn. It's insane. Fast forward through these. Take my mouse off the screen, sorry. I managed to get that one off. I have a feeling I get Bistilled here. Yeah. So I have nothing. Yeah, god damn. I forgot about all this. I remember this still pretty well though, so I think my best option was to just go for Cynet Conflict because it is a good card. One thing I forgot about Cynet Conflict is, and I couldn't confirm it in some of my last videos, is that you can't use the effects of the same card that you've negated until the end of next turn. So when you use it against cards like, what's it called? Oh, have I forgotten the name already? Runic Fountain for Runic players. They can't use it until the end of the next turn. Like that's crazy. Like, and that explains why a lot of Runic players scoop when I use it that way, because that's just how I remember it. Yeah, so he tries this. He can't attack into this. Doesn't even matter if it goes to the graveyard. These are non-targetable. Yeah, and oh, he scoops. Yeah, I forgot. I think I just timed it well. I wasn't sure. You never know with tier limits. If he has something else in his hand, he can keep comboing and going crazy. But it managed to work. Oh, that was that one. Where we go here? Oh my god, stun. So I hate this type of deck. I really don't see the enjoyment of this. But at the same time, I'm not these players, so maybe they just enjoy these type of. I think they're toxic, and the game should not have decks like this. Just like I feel this deck is the equivalent of what I think Maxi is. I hate Maxi. I have to play it because everyone else plays it, but I just think it's a really awful card. Like it disrupts the game. I don't even care if it's a best of one. Oh, he left quick. I guess he didn't have anything to kind of combat, and this is a negate if you didn't already know. But yeah, Maxi should not be in the game. Like, it's a ridiculous card. Like, how can you have a card so powerful that it can end the game in one turn? Like, it just makes no sense. Droll, I think, is fair, because you can still make plays around Droll. But Maxi, no. Impossible. The only decks that can play with Maxi are Labyrinth, because they don't really make many special summons. Stun, which is the other, toxic thing that I was, just referring to. And I think it's Dark World. If you Maxi Dark World, I'm so glad I played 2 Droll, because it saved me in the fact that I can just play both Droll. But a good Dark World player will have Edo. If you don't know what Edo is it's an IDO, is how you spell it. It's a monster that players will try and summon to your side of the field, because the active effect of it is that it cannot, what's the word for it? You cannot summon monsters. So even if you have a monster on board, it will destroy all your monsters, because it's the only thing that can exist on your board. And cards like that I also think shouldn't exist, but I think they are. It's harder to get them onto your side of the field. That's why Branded, they had to get rid of that card that allows Mimic Puppet. That guy was ridiculous. I forgot about it completely. Anyway, yeah, so I think I don't play into this Mexi. I think I just let it be. And I have Cynet Conflict and Book of Eclipse. I'm not sure what this guy was playing. I've completely forgotten. Oh, and I use it. I can't believe I use it. I don't even know what happens here. But now I know he can't use Cynet Conflicts. Oh, sorry, Cynet Conflict. He can't use Ash next turn because of Cynet Conflict. It's basically like Call by the Grave in that sense. Sorry, this is very slow. I forgot to press this. There we go. Now I have an active negate on board, which is good. Okay, I'm not really sure what I do here. I'm fairly certain I lose this one. I've already forgotten how this goes. Yeah, I lose this one. Yeah, Virtual World has a crazy set of combos. They can just keep going off. I'm pretty sure I scoop. Yeah, I scoop. Basically, he just outs my access code with this, but I mean, it is what it is. It does kind of suck. I suppose it's balanced, but it does kind of suck that the diameter negate effect doesn't carry on into the next game, into the next round. Like, it's only on the turn that you summoned your Xyz monster. Jesus. So this is the one we're playing, fighting game. Okay. So press replay. Let's have a look how we do. Well, you already know I lost, so let's see how I lost. Let's see. Did I have the out? Did I make a mistake? So Book of Eclipse in one certain case can be very good. So the one I'm thinking, and I tried a Fet Veiler instead of Gamma at this point. So oh, I went first. I forgot. Oh, this is how I lost. I went first, then he maxed me. Right. Yeah, I remember this now. Oh my god. I timed that one so poorly. I should have used Effect Veiler after he used the effect. And I just wish I had I just wish I had Duel. Duel would have been so good in this scenario. Yeah, this is when I have to use Book of Eclipse. And then he maxes me. Oh, goodness. Oh yeah, one thing there that I did not know. So when you Book of Eclipse yourself, and you haven't, just summoned the monster. So, Circular was there the turn before. You can just resummon it, flip summon it. So he's still an active card, and I thought that was really, really good. And I was just thinking about how can I play for game here, but he's just drawing. This is what I mean by Max C. Like it's an unbalanced card. Like it's just ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense that you should have a card like this in the game. Like, and then look, yeah, just drawing into more and more negates. Like the game, it's a best of one. It's already a game based around luck. Like if you brick, then you brick. Like adding Max C to the mix just makes it way worse. I think Konami made a real mistake on that one. Anyway, like so you see a few wins here now. So. Just trying to make through these as quickly as possible. Purely, always good to beat them. Can't stand that deck. But I respect that Purely is a very difficult deck to use. I've seen certain content creators play it, and you do have to know very specific plays. Otherwise, you're in a really tough bind. Can't remember if he has Mexi. If he did, though, that would put me in an awful spot because I'd have to negate a Call by the Grave. Both of mine are now completely inactive. And it sucks that I've already used Sigma because now it's no longer a free summon. I have to forfeit my thing. But I've got Diamond, so it's not bad. I'm not sure if I top deck Excellence. Oh, look at that. 3 Maxis. Like, that's crazy. Like, I don't even want this card. That's the thing. Like, it would be so great that this card wasn't in the game because then everyone can start adding cards that they actually want. And the game can actually flow a bit better. Like, I don't care about combo decks. It's just, you either draw the out or you don't. Like, it's just, that's the fairness of the game. Like, no deck, except for, like, Tenement, Tier 0, is so consistent that they cannot brick. Like, bricking is just an inevitable part of the game. So, yeah, I think it's ridiculous. Yeah, so my thought process on this one, I remember this one pretty well. So I use Call by the Grave on purely because this one is a hard once per turn. So, and I don't have a, what do you call it? I don't have impermanence on board. So it wouldn't, even if he summoned it, I wouldn't have the negate. So I thought if I use it on Pure Lily, he's never going to summon this card now, which I was correct. He's always going to keep summoning this card. And now I just have to figure out how I'm going to out this specific board. Because he's got 3 on board now. This one's gonna trigger a deck mill in a sec. And I figured you remove the one that's tried to activate its effect to Xe summon. And ideally, yeah, this is the bit I get. So had he only had 1 card in hand, I would have won the game easily from there because he wouldn't have been able to Xe summon. Maybe he goes into like the Lurisic monsters and tries to Zeus, but in my case, I would have been okay. But I think I pull the field spell, which isn't really, yeah, I do. It's not really that important to me. So he tried to Xe summon with this. And he's going to do one now. This is all in the standby phase. Oh, so crazy. Sorry, let me fast forward this one as well. Yep, that card's kind of insane. Yeah, that card's insane. Yeah, and he makes Zeus. Oh my god. So from this point, look, I have a decent card economy. My objective is to bait him out. So I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to force him to activate it because now I can just use Divine Incarnate. And he's got nothing in hand, so what can he do? And I'm pretty sure, I can't look at it now. Pretty sure he used all of his Purelies. So, and he didn't have the trap in the deck, in the graveyard to shuffle them back. So he was, he's fucked. He used all of his resources to get into that Zeus, and he would have lost it. Yeah, Jesus. Look, you can see this is the new variant that I was trying to warn you about. So this new hot red dragon Archfiend Abyss, such a strong card. Oh, it's level 9 as well. It's a lot more easily summoned than you think then. Baron, you'll see right now. I won this one. Oh, okay. Oh, I didn't expect that. Okay. Usually I lose these ones because the synchro cards, if they go first, it's really hard to contend with them because they just have multiple negates and some of them are not once per turn. And I'm going second. Yeah, how did I win this? Hold on. Yeah, he bricked. Okay, that makes sense. I was going to say, a deck like that is really, really strong. You get put in a very tough position. So I now have a negate on board. That's great. Oh, God, I hate Gamma. I forgot about that. Gamma is a very, very good card. I don't particularly play it because I just find that it's only good going second. Going first, for a MATHMECH player, this locks you out of the transcode play because you can't use its effects. And it kind of sucks. It can end turns, but I don't know. I find, is it worth the gamble? Is it worth the struggle? But I managed to go into my access code line, and luckily I had a Lingaribo on board, so none of these were... Oh, these were this morning. Yeah, okay. I've forgotten what time I played these. Yeah, if I just had one more material, if I just had one more link monster, that would have been... Yeah, that would have been so much better. But, oh well. It is what it is. And then he finished himself. Okay, so he must have bricked, like, hard. I think the mistake I made was... I don't know, you do have to clear the back row. Like, you don't know what you're dealing with. It could have been a last-minute imperm, and then... Yeah, that's GG's. Like, I would have... Like, what would have been the point of my card? And then ninjas. Okay. Ninjas are really, really good, actually. I should buy the structure deck. It's it looks like a fun deck as well. Seems to counter the meta pretty strongly. And not many people know what they do, so I do think it's a struggle like effect. Pretty decent hand going first. I'm not going to be able to get the oh my goodness, yeah, Maxi. Yeah, get that card out the game. I'm not going to be able to go into the Cynet conflict play, unfortunately, but I do have other cards on board which are really good. Yeah, okay, I'm glad I showed this. Now, Book of Eclipse, ideally you want to use it on your opponent as a disruption, but it is really good for dodging negation. And I just thought, you know what, I better use it now because he's already lost Maxi. He's lost impermanence now because I've, dodged the negation. I'm just going to show the same replay again. Apologies if this is a bit repetitive, but look at the look at this. Like, I can still make a great play here. Number one is impermanence, so unless he has cross out himself, I don't see him negating this. So hold on, let me slow it down when we get to this point. So I apologize if this is very obvious to some players, but for those who don't actually know, you can dodge negation from like targeting effects using stuff like Book of Eclipse, Book of Moon on your own monsters. Book of Moon is a target any monster on the field, so you can target your own monster and then flip it down. But Book of Eclipse, like, it flips it back up at the end, so that's why I think it's really good. And it hits multiple targets non-targeting, that's why I prefer it. But yeah, so now that I use it, I dodge the negation. This works on Effect Veiler as well. And one thing you should know is that, so let's say he used Effect Veiler on my Allen version after the after the impermanence, it still would, like, the effect would still resolve. I read a Reddit thread about this because it happened to me and I was really confused, like, how it like worked. And basically, and this sounds really dumb, but the monster that you flip down essentially forgets the effects that it's under when it's face down. So negating it, the negation is almost erased in a sense, even if it's done, you know, as a chain link after it. And it's such a weird effect. I don't know if it's a bug or if it's fixed, because that was a long time ago since it happened. But if he effect veiled after the impermanence, and after my Book of Eclipse, yeah, the effect would still go through, and he would have lost another piece of card economy. So because he only had 3 cards in hand left, no matter what he played, I would have negated a monster, and I would have... Oh, I lost it. And I would have used, you know, in Superfactorial and Laplation to rip the card from his hand and have an extra negate on board. So I would have absolutely ruined this player. Yeah, this is a synchro deck. Yeah, you're going to see the full power synchro. I'm not sure yet how to counter these type of decks. I feel like Maxi is just an obvious choice, and then Duel does some slowing down. But yeah, just in time we'll have to figure out how this is going to work, because stuff like Chaos Angel, that card is so good, so strong, and unfortunately sometimes you draw the out and sometimes you don't. It's just a best of one case scenario. Can I only use this once per turn? Change or face on the field? Face down. No. Okay, this is more than once, so if you have multiple, might be decent. So when they start with this play, I was kind of confused. I was like, okay, I don't really... So it's just the adventure engine. It's 1 negate. I can like maybe play through that. But wait till you see what he has now, and then the end board he has. Like, it's crazy. And yeah, Maxi would have stopped all this, but nah, don't enjoy a game like a card like that. I'd rather have Nibiru. At least Nibiru would play some value in this. Like, it would have cleared the board, and then he's forced to either combo with a weaker deck, weaker end board, or he negates it. Like, it's just simple as that. I should have read this card. This is also a negation, so I didn't really play into it. One other card that I'm considering playing because of like decks like this is Dark Ruler No More, and even no, not evenly matched, it's just negatable. Dark Ruler No More, because monsters cannot react to it, so it will negate the effects of all monsters currently on the field, and what I can do is go into access code line, delete his board, but try and get the Superfactorial play on board as well, because that way at least I can, you know, empty his hand and have a negate on board, and then if he can't play through it, you know, access code is always there. But as you saw, look, Hot Dragon Archfiend, I'm not going to go for the replay again, is 1 negate, Chaos Angel, but none of these are destroyable by battle or affected by monster effects because they're all synchro monsters. Baron de Fleur, 1 on negate whilst face up on the field. A little fun fact, if you face this card down, so with like Book of Moon or Book of Eclipse, and then face it back up, I believe it gets its negate back. I read a thread about it a long time ago, and I think that's just something to look out for. Just be careful when you Book of Moon this, because I think he gets another negate back because it's a flip face up again. And this is just a spell trap negate. Yeah, that's player. A lot of people just name themselves player. I think I beat this guy because he bricks. So this is a Labyrinth player with a good deck this time. I love that we can go through these replays. I think this is such a great feature of the game. Look how great this hand is going first. This would be insane going first. We already have Superfactorial. We have the out. Yeah, unfortunately for this player, we just had everything we needed. Yeah, this is unfortunate. So, yeah. See we go on. So now I have a trap negate for whatever this is. So I'm very, very likely to be a trap. And then I'm going for a diameter, because then I can set up a second negate and just combo for game ready. Because with diameter on board and going into Allen version, I have the negate, I can search for a monster, and I still have, you know, 3 materials, because I'm not going to use Lingarubo just for the sake of the trap. I'm going to save Alan Bershin for the sake of Lady Labyrinth. And then, yeah, it was very, very simple from there. And then we're coming close to an end now. Gishki Sprite, yeah, another... I don't know how I lost this one, actually. I've forgotten the complete game state. Okay, let's see what happens there. Yeah, look at this. Terrible, terrible hand. Oh, I remember this now. I think I just... Scoop. Yeah, I remember this very, very well. Like, look what I draw into. Like, this is terrible. Yeah. What am I supposed to do? But, oh well. It is what it is. Another Gishki Sprite. Was it the same guy? No, it was not. I had it look, oh no, it's not the same guy. I had it yesterday though, where I did play the same guy twice, and both our games ended the exact same way. He bricked and scooped on the second one, and I bricked and scooped on the first one. So you do tend to play the same sort of people in Master 1. I don't think you can play people in Master 2. I don't know if you can play anyone below, but yeah, not the greatest hand, but at least I have, you know, these two, and let's see if Silent Money can pull it. Yep, I do manage to. I think that was a smart decision, just because now I can set up a negate and chain block circular, which is nice. So Ash doesn't really have as much of an effect, although he would have used it at the beginning. Yep, so now one negate on board. Ooh. Okay, he just scoops. This is what I mean, like, games don't really last that long in Master 1, so finding specific content has been rather difficult, because I'm trying to show you how good, like, certain cards are against Kashtira, but I just don't seem to be getting those cards, like. And I'm also tempted to play Cynet Codec at 2, because I really just want to see that card every time in my first hand, because I can just keep playing if I have that card. Oh, look at this hand. Imagine this going first. Like, this is insane. Yeah, this is insane. Oh yeah, this is an example of why you want to Ash Kashtira Theosis. So yeah, he uses you know, Unicorn's effect, but it's better to use it on Unicorn. Better to use it on Kashtira Theosis than it is to use it on, you know, Unicorn Search. And he has a Birth in hand, which you'll see in a second. If you didn't see his hand, he had a Unicorn and Birth in his hand, so not the greatest, but if I was him, I would have kept comboing. I didn't have Max E, so nothing wrong with, like, playing forward. Don't know what this was, but now I have the necessary bodies to keep playing. If you're worried about one trap and you have Lingarivo on board, best idea is to just get as many bodies on the board as possible. And I hate that he did this. So I'm convinced I might play two of my, you know, access code, because I think it's just worth it. But I've added Pitknight Earlie, and you'll see why in a moment in the next game. It's a very good card. I'm so lucky he let me get away with this. I don't know why he let me bring this back, because now this is activatable. This card is completely dead, and I now have the combo for game. If that was impermanence, he should have shot for it, because he saw my extra deck. He knows what I'm going for. There's no way I could combo into that. So yeah, he really wasted that in my opinion. And this guy, God, I don't even know what this is. Did I brick this game, or was he simply better? Okay, let's see. This card, completely useless against Labyrinth. And I went first, and look, I bricked, yeah. So I had Superfactorial on board, and that was it. It seems he bricked a little bit as well, but look, this is... I think one of the pros of playing MATHMECH is having so many hand traps, but that's also one of the cons, because just getting only hand traps in, you know, on board, it just sucks, because what can you do? And one thing about having lovely Labyrinth on board, so Lingarivo is probably our best out to, you know, Labyrinth. But bear in mind, you can't respond with monster effects to the normal traps. So even if he tries to summon something, I can't use Lingarivo's effect. It's just one of those things. That's why we play Red Reboot. Red Reboot really saves us in these matchups. My goodness. But I wouldn't play 2. I don't think it's worth it. I think you shorten yourself of card economy that you wish you had. Oh, in the last 2? Okay. Right. I'm really pleased because I don't want to take up too much of yours. Oh wait, yeah, I lost 2 in a row. Oh, sad. So this is a Rika player that I lost to. So the reason why I activate Maxi before the main phase is because I've lost a lot of games to Triple Tactics talent, because that's very popular at the minute. And with MATHMECH, we need every card we can. So for them to just sort of, you know, look at my hand and take something out, it's very, very annoying, to say the least. So this is a pretty good hand, but I made a fatal error. So one thing that I should have done is... Where's it going? Oh yeah, it's Con. My bad, I was waiting for this card to come out. So didn't mind the back throw, because with Red Reboot, unless he has Solemn Judgment, I'm in a really good spot. And I don't think they play any other counter traps. No, normal traps. So I was in a good spot for this. However, I should have remembered that Con tributes your monster, not theirs. So I know he had that monster added effect. I should not have gone for Lady Debug. I should have gone for Diameter. I made a real error here. I was getting a bit ahead of myself and thinking, right, I really want to have what's it called, microcoder in hand, so I can get Cynet codec and then combo off and just keep going in. But what I should have done is got Diameter, because once he uses this, yeah, that's 1, that's 2, and then look, that's both. So he negated the Sigma, you know, summon effect using my circular as the tribute for that, you know, cost of effect. And had I had Diameter, I could have at least had something here, because I've got Diameter here, and then I suppose this is a game state where Final Sigma would come in handy. And yeah, maybe I'll consider playing Final Sigma, because it's a pretty decent card. It just requires so many, like, you know, specific game states, and this is one of them. So I'm very sad that I didn't have it, because then I could have just summoned, yeah, and I used Dotscaper, so another mistake on my hand. But look, if this is not, like, you know, an example of where, you know, players just make mistakes, this is like the best I can show. I cannot believe I lost so many. Yeah, that was a pretty poor. But like I said, I should have got Diameter first, summoned, you know, I don't care if it was Sigma or Circular, went into Alan Bershin, and then got, oh no, I couldn't have gone for Sigma. I had Multiplication in hand. Yeah, okay. I think regardless how I played it, I just didn't have, you know, the necessary cards to win. So this is the one that I wanted to show you with Pitknight Earlie. Sometimes you just get in these random game states where hand traps have really affected both players. So it doesn't matter if I have Maxi, if I just have a bricky hand, I'm not, you know, in the best state to just play through. But, and okay, before I go into it, the credit of where I say it's due is there's a content creator, if you don't know Jimmy, his name on YouTube is Master Duel Central. I think he's a really funny guy and a really smart player. When I saw the play that he made with this card, I just thought to myself, okay, I have to make the same play if the opportunity presents itself, and I did. So very, very pleased. Very, very pleased. And yeah, it put me in a good spot. Yeah, so he shuffled my... See, this is what I mean. Triple Tactic is very, very popular at the minute. And I have 2 copies. I put 2 copies in, and I have never once been able to actually use it to its full effect. Like, a MATHMECH player's dream is to, you know, set up your whole end board, have Triple Tactics, use it on your opponent to shuffle cards to see what they have as well. And then that's an easy game. Like, your opponent is very obviously going to scoop, but for some reason, I don't know. I guess RNG doesn't really, you know, work in our favor for this card. Well, for me anyway. I don't know other people. Now, why I think this is a very funny position that this player's put me in. So if you don't know what this card does, you can just take a look here. It can attack directly, so he can make a Zeus out of it. That's whatever. That's great. But if he detaches a material from this card, none of his, you know, Lyrilusk monsters can be destroyed by battle or card effects. And also, you take no battle damage, which is a really annoying thing when going against this deck, because this card is so easily summonable. So I'm not baiting out any interactions. I'm just trying to create my, you know, Superfactorial end board. And this is where things... So now I've got, you know, my out for the next play. I'm just using as many baits, because I don't know what's in his hand. I'm doing my best. And then this is just where shit is beautiful. So I use these 2, go into Pitknight Earlie. Now here. Oh, I want to pause it. So Pitknight Earlie's effect. When a monster this card points to activate its effect, quick effect, you can target 1 effect monster your opponent controls till the end of its turn. Change its attack to 0. I didn't even know that bit, but I knew it negates its effect. So now that it's pointing, because you can see the arrow going top right, is pointing at his monster. doesn't matter if he triggers that effect, it negates the monster. So I'm destroying this regardless. He has an open end board, and I have Superfactorial for the next turn. So he's going to have 2 cards in hand. I may as well trigger this into the, you know, standby phase, draw phase, and then look, he scoops, because what is he going to do? So I do think sometimes cards like this are necessary, and I'm going to keep it in because I think, let's say you can't get the transcode talker heat soul line for whatever reason. Sometimes it's good to have, you know, Pitknight Earlie, I'll try and display on the board, here, and then heat soul here, then save your draw for when, you know, a monster on the board activates effect, because it's a quick effect, and you can just negate it straight away. You can get an extra draw from your card, quick effect, negate, and yeah, I think you're in a really, really good, like, strong state. It also resummons itself, so as a link to monster, it's quite useful that it can resummon itself. I think if it's destroyed by battle or card effect. So for the next turn, I don't know, specific game states, you can, you know, recover easily. But anyway, look, I've rambled on for 40 minutes. I just wanted to show you, you know, my past 20 games. I might do this again in the future. I'll label it as part 1 for now, and if you like it, you like it. I'm not really one of those channels that cares so much about subscriber count or like count. I suppose to me, it just tells me if you like the stuff going on. I appreciate the people commenting. I really love the fact that I'm discussing something that I'm quite passionate about with other people who are either learning or quite passionate about themselves. So I think it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, if you do like it, it does tell me if you want more of the same content, or just comment below if you don't necessarily want this specific content. I saw someone commenting about Calamity as well. Calamity is such a great card, but that card is so hard to summon with a MATHMECH deck because we don't particularly play dragon synchro monsters. We can force it, so I linked a video to Kashtira, who's already done that type of video, and props to him because that is that's a lot of patience to go through that type of deck list. But I think it's really, really difficult to summon, so I don't think it's competitive. I think given above plat, above plat, anything above plat, you're not going to be able to, you know, consistently get this card out. And in a MATHMECH deck anyway, other decks, then by all means, like, try it out because that's a really strong card. Basically skips the turn, but other than that, I just don't think it's worth it. But anyway, that's all from me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care. Bye. Yo, what's going on, guys? I'm adding this at the end of the video. I completely forgot. Somebody made a comment about deck list, and I thought it was quite silly of me not to include deck lists at the end of each video. I really should have been doing that from the start, but this is the one I've been using semi-recently, so for the past 5 games, definitely. So if you want to see each card, Draw, Lockbird, Escaper, Microcoder, Kurikara, XE, Ash Blossom, Code Generator, Lady Debug, MATHMECH Sigma, 1, Nabla. Actually, I don't need to read them, I'm sorry. Anyway, there you go. Thank you.